Lumify. You ever wake up after a late night, look in the mirror, and instantly know your eyes are going to give you away? They're bright red, irritated, and no amount of showering or fixing your hair is going to hide it. One drop of this takes care of that problem in under 20 seconds, and the effects last all day. Lumify works because it targets redness at the blood vessel level. It uses an ingredient called brimonidine, which is an alpha-2 adrenergic agonist. In simple terms, it causes the tiny blood vessels on the surface of your eyes to constrict temporarily. When those vessels shrink, the redness fades because there's less visible blood showing through. Most redness drops also constrict blood vessels, but they do it aggressively and unspecifically. That's why many of them cause rebound redness, where your eyes look even worse once the drops wear off. Lumify is different because it selectively targets certain receptors and leaves others alone, which is why it doesn't cause dependency or that rebound effect when used as directed. The result is eyes that look clearer, whiter, and healthier, without that artificial, glassy look. The main thing to be aware of is moderation. You don't need this every day, and if you have underlying eye conditions, it's still smart to check with an eye doctor before regular use. But as long as you use it the way it's intended, the payoff is exactly what you're hoping for. Hello, charcoal toothpaste. You smile at yourself and immediately close your mouth again. No matter how much brushing you do, your teeth get clean, but they always look yellow, especially under bathroom lighting. That's where charcoal toothpaste comes in. Charcoal toothpaste works through physical adsorption. Activated charcoal is extremely porous, which means it binds to pigments and surface stains left behind by coffee, wine, tea, and smoking. When you brush, those stain particles stick to the charcoal and get swept away. That's why charcoal toothpaste can make teeth look visibly brighter fast. It's good at surface-level cleanup. The trade-off is that charcoal can be abrasive. Used occasionally, it's probably fine. Used constantly, it can wear down enamel, which is why dentists are not big fans of its use. If you want something gentler, purple toothpaste like Crest 3D White Brilliance Luminous Purple Toothpaste works using color correction. Purple sits opposite yellow on the color wheel, so it visually cancels yellow tones. It doesn't remove stains, but it makes teeth look whiter immediately. The downside is that the effect is temporary and washes away. For longer-lasting change, Lumino whitening strips use a peroxide-free formula that penetrates deeper stains without triggering the sensitivity that scares most people off. Used as directed, it can take a smile that looks dull and yellow and make it look noticeably brighter and cleaner without wrecking your teeth. e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. From a distance, your face looks fine. Up close, it's a different story. Every pore, fine line, wrinkle, and uneven patch is way more visible than it should be. Primer works by filling and smoothing micro-irregularities in the skin. Silicone-based ingredients like dimethicone sit on top of the skin and level out pores and texture so light reflects more evenly. e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer does this well for the price. It creates a soft focus effect that reduces the visibility of pores and fine lines almost immediately. If you're looking for something that gives you the same optical smoothing with added skincare benefits like hydration and anti-aging ingredients, Tula Skincare Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer is probably your best option, especially if you wear a primer regularly. While it's marketed as a primer, it evens out skin tones so well you can wear it without makeup and look pretty darn good. One thing to watch is layering. Too much primer, especially with heavy foundation, can pill or slide. When you get the amount right, the smoothing effect is obvious and your skin looks better immediately. Mederma. People say that scars are sexy, but sometimes they really just aren't. If you have one that's healing, Mederma can help it fade so it blends in with your skin. Mederma works by supporting the scar remodeling process. Its active ingredient allantoin keeps the area hydrated and supports normal skin cell turnover while the scar is still forming. As the skin repairs itself, Mederma helps collagen get laid down more smoothly instead of unevenly or too densely in one area. The result is a scar that looks flatter, softer, less red, and less obvious. The downside is it's not an overnight fix. It requires consistent use for several weeks, and it won't erase deep or very old scars. The key thing is patience and applying it only to closed, healed skin, not open wounds. While it's not instant, the stuff really is amazing at making visible scars virtually disappear. Batiste Dry Shampoo. Ever feel like you can't leave the house, even just to go to the grocery store, because your hair is so disgusting it looks like a grease bomb went off on your scalp? Batiste Dry Shampoo uses starches to absorb excess oil and sebum at the scalp, which is what makes hair look greasy and heavy. Once that oil is gone, hair immediately looks cleaner and less weighed down. The downside is sometimes it leaves a white residue and it can have a strong scent, especially if you use too much or don't brush it through well. It's great for emergencies, but looks bad if overused. If you want something lighter, Color Wow Style on steroids isn't a true dry shampoo, but it absorbs some oil while adding texture and volume. It also acts as a heat protectant and helps styles hold without stiffness. It's ideal for second-day hair when you want movement and lift without risking powder buildup. Between the two, you've got a fix for full-on grease emergencies and a smarter option for second-day hair that needs lift and control. Not just so you can make it to the grocery store, but so your hair actually looks good enough to go out. The Ordinary Caffeine Solution. You wake up and your eyes look like you got punched in your sleep. Dark circles, big bags, full raccoon situation going on. The Ordinary Caffeine Solution shrinks that swelling and reduces darkness instantly. Under-eye puffiness is mostly fluid and blood pooling in very thin skin. Caffeine works by constricting blood vessels and tightening the tissue slightly, which helps push that fluid out of the area. The Ordinary's formula also includes EGCG, a powerful antioxidant that helps calm discoloration and reduce the dark, tired look that tends to linger even after swelling goes down. Adding a cold jade roller makes the effect even better. Cold temperature helps move fluid away faster, and the gentle pressure spreads the product evenly without tugging at delicate skin. It won't change your bone structure or erase deeply set circles, but for daily under-eye swelling, it's one of the fastest, most reliable fixes out there. Grande Lash MD Lash Enhancing Serum. Some people have lashes that make everyone else a little jealous. Long, lush, and eye-catching even from across the room. This is one way people actually get those. Grande Lash works by extending the growth phase of your eyelashes. Normally, lashes grow for a short time, stop, and fall out. This serum contains an analog of prostaglandin that signals follicles to stay in the growth phase longer, which allows lashes to grow longer, thicker, and more noticeable over several weeks. In this case, patience matters. You won't see much in the first couple of weeks, but around the 1-month mark, lashes start to look fuller and longer, and by 2 to 3 months, the difference is obvious. It's ophthalmologist tested, which is important because the skin around your eyes is extremely sensitive. It's important to follow directions and use sparingly. Even so, some people experience mild irritation or darkening along the lash line, especially if they over-apply. Once lashes grow in, a basic eyelash curler can make them look even longer and more lifted. Don't be surprised when people ask if you're wearing extensions, they actually look that good. Topic: hair fibers. Your hair in the front and around the sides looks just fine, but when a photo gets taken from behind or above, you notice that bald spot is rapidly growing. Topic: hair fibers work through static electricity. The tiny keratin fibers cling to existing hair strands and fill in the gaps where the scalp shows through. This creates the illusion of thicker hair and reduces contrast between hair and skin, which is what makes thinning so obvious. The fibers don't grow hair and they don't treat hair loss. They just camouflage it, and they do it extremely well when there's still some hair present to hold on to. That's why they're really only effective in thinning areas, not completely bald spots. The downside is they aren't permanent. They wash out in the shower, and heavy rain, sweating, or aggressive rubbing can also cause issues. But for everyday wear, photos, events, or just not flinching every time you see yourself from a bad angle, they do exactly what you want them to do. Remington Balder Pro. At some point, hair thinning stops being something to manage and you have to give in. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Mahershala Ali, and Jason Statham. Turns out, bald became the new beautiful years ago. The real advantage of the Remington Balder Pro is that it gives you a close, even shave without using a razor at all. The multi-head design flexes to the shape of your scalp, so you're not dragging a blade across your head, worrying about cuts, razor burn, or irritation. You don't need shaving cream, you don't need perfect lighting, and you don't need to be careful around every curve. It's fast, it's low effort, and you can use it dry or in the shower. That makes staying bald feel easy instead of a constant chore. If you absolutely insist on using a blade, the Cremo razor is a better option than most disposable or subscription razors. It's designed to glide more smoothly, last longer, and reduce nicks compared to other blades. But the real upgrade for most people is skipping razors entirely. A clean, close shave without cuts, burn, or hassle is the whole point, and that's exactly what the Remington Balder Pro does. Duke Cannon Best Damn Beard Balm and Oil. You lean in to kiss someone, and your beard scratches their face. Not just a little, enough that they pull back. Talk about ruining a moment. That's what dry, wiry facial hair does when you don't treat it. Beard oil works by hydrating both the hair shaft and the skin underneath, which makes your beard softer. Balm adds light hold and control, helping hairs lie flat instead of sticking out in every direction. As an added bonus, you can use it to control those crazy eyebrows as well. Duke Cannon's formulas are heavier and more conditioning than many basic beard products, which makes them especially good for coarse or thick beards. The scent is pleasant without being overpowering, and the texture smooths hair quite nicely. Too much product can make a beard look greasy, so moderation matters. But when you get it right, your beard looks healthier, feels softer, and stops being something people recoil from and makes them want to kiss you instead. Buxom Lip Plumping Polish. Speaking of kissable, Buxom Lip Plumping Polish gives you the kind of lips people notice immediately. Fuller, more defined, and just a little hard to stop staring at. Buxom works by increasing blood flow to the lips using ingredients that mildly stimulate the skin. That stimulation causes temporary swelling, which makes lips look fuller and more pronounced within minutes. That tingling or spicy sensation you feel is the product doing its job. It's not a gimmick, it's a physical response. The plumping effect enhances lip shape and volume without injections or fillers, which is why the difference looks obvious but still natural. Lips appear smoother, rounder, and more hydrated, which improves the look of your whole face. Some people find that tingling sensation a little intense, and sensitive skin can react if you use too much. If you want softness and hydration without plumping or shine, Jack Black Lip Balm gives lips a healthy, smooth look without gloss or femininity. And if you still like that tingling sensation, Peppermint Chapstick does the same thing. Sol de Janeiro. What started out as a butt cream somehow turned into one of the most recognizable scents on the planet. People love the smell so much, they didn't care what it was meant for. They just wanted more of it. Sol de Janeiro's original Brazilian Bum Bum Cream was designed to firm skin using caffeine and guarana extract, but the scent completely stole the show. Warm, sweet, and addictive, it stood out instantly from typical lotions and creams. You get creamy notes like vanilla and caramel, a soft coconut warmth, and a slightly salty edge that keeps it from smelling cheap or overly sugary. It smells like sun-warmed skin, vacation, and confidence all at once, which is why people started using it everywhere and the fragrance became the brand. There's no functional downside here. Sol de Janeiro is captivating, memorable, and instantly recognizable. It's one of those scents that gets compliments every time it's worn. Most products don't do much, but every once in a while, you find a few that actually deliver. When that happens, you don't gatekeep them. You remember them, you reuse them, and you tell everyone you know.